Alexa Bliss is out, John Cena is in, and the Wrestlemania 41 build-up needs to get in the bin. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. We have some news ahead of Wrestlemania 41. Some good news regarding John Cena, some bad news regarding Alexa Bliss. But anyway, at this point, Alexa Bliss has been gone for a few years. What's a few more months going to matter? Bray Wyatt pretty much ruined her career anyway, so her career's not been thriving in at least, 5 years, so here, been on the back burner, not appearing until a few shows after Mania. I don't think that's going to do her any harm, but one guy that has been done harm with the lack of appearances is none other than Big Match John Cena. He turned heel, and then he literally turned his heels and ran away from WWE. We've barely seen him since he turned up on Netflix. He said in 2025 that he was going to be full-time. He was going to be here. He turned up on Raw, Netflix premiere, cut a decent promo. We thought, hopefully this is the John that we're going to get. John Cena's going to carry the show. And then he didn't show up to the Rumble, got chucked out at the Rumble. Then he went in, did a press conference and basically said, I deserve to be in the Elimination Chamber. I ain't going to wrestle. I ain't going to be here. Goodbye. Disappeared again. Turned up at the Chamber. Did a heel turn. Disappeared again. Didn't get nothing. And then when we finally did get John Cena, we got the same old John Cena that we've seen for the last 2 decades. Now here, that's fine, but then he went on to cut some shite promos, so we didn't get this heel version of John Cena. He basically said that the fans don't deserve heel John Cena, so he was just going to give us the same old John Cena that we've already got. So just a bogging attempt at a heel turn. People saying this was the greatest heel turn of all time. Absolutely delusional. No matter how good the moment is, and let's be honest, it was a decent moment, but it wasn't the best heel turn of all time. But no matter how big the moment is, the follow-up matters just as much, and the follow-up for this, unfortunately, was non-existent. We haven't seen Cena. He comes out, he's still wearing the same bright clothing. The guy can't even be bothered to put on a black t-shirt because I guess shirt sales are more important. But come on, you telling me that if John Cena started repping some black t-shirts, they still wouldn't sell Cena shirts in his final year? Of course they would. But he comes out with the bright red, bright blue, just a sellout for all these hometowns that Raw were in. Doesn't change his theme song. Has the same theme song. Has the same towel that he comes out with. And he's got the same hats. Got the same jorts. Got the same everything. So we got a heel turn, but nothing changed. But something is changing. We're getting John Cena appearing on the go-home show of Smackdown.
Woo, Big John! Last time is now. Get the tiles out, don't drop it, and then Heidenreich might pump Michael Cole for you. But the problem is, see McMahon, right? The only guy part-time under McMahon was Brock. Yeah, you had other guys like Goldberg, Triple H, Taker, etc. The Rock. Guys that had earned it. Decades of destruction between them all, right? Why? No, is it any surprise that Cena in his last year is working the similar dates to fucking Roman Reigns? Then you look at other guys like Cody Rhodes. I remember sick of talking about it. 2 defenses in 7 months, appearing in his suit. That's all he do. I seen a Reddit thing earlier. I don't watch WWE, but anytime I see a clip, I just see Cody in a suit. Does he even wrestle? No, he doesn't wrestle. He doesn't even fucking do non-title matches. See, no, but it was, under McMahon, it was only fucking Brock that was part-time. Why is everyone part-time now? Why is anyone that's considered main, top guy, main eventer, why are they all part-time? Part-time schedule. And even if they appear full-time, they never work full-time. What's happened? I need to know.
Well, maybe we'll get the answers on Friday. Will John Cena, he will be there, but will he wrestle? Or will he just come out and stand there in a shirt? Will he interact with Cody Rhodes? Will he cut a promo? Will he respond to being hit with the crossroads? Will he go for the AA? The Rock's not scheduled to be there. Will The Rock show up? Are we going to get any more of this whole selling your soul thing? I don't understand, right? The Rock banged on and banged on and banged on to Cody. You gotta sell me your soul.
You give me your cheeks, Cody.
I want your hole, Cody.
Cheeks, Cody.
Yeah, you wanted to plant the big Dwayne Johnson into Cody's hole.
Easy there, big fella.
And then Cody Rhodes doesn't sell his soul, John Cena sells his soul instead, and we get absolutely no follow-up to it. Cena does not address selling his soul. The Rock doesn't address the John Cena heel turn. Like, nothing gets addressed here. Like, why even include John Cena in with The Rock and Travis Scott? I mean, Travis Scott shouldn't even be there in the first place. What a fucking joke of a celebrity. A joke of a musician as well. Absolute garbage. Spit on that. But I don't understand. Like, they could have turned Cena heel without The Rock. I mean, unless Cena and The Rock were going to be here as some sort of, like, power unit, the new two-man power trip, then what was the point? Hollywood Brothers of Destruction, you know? I don't know what they were going to...
No, I tell you what, though, right? Travis Scott, built like a fucking matchstick. Could they not have got someone big? 50 Cent? Big fucking guy? You know what I mean? Actual fucking tough man. Not some shite bag like Travis Scott.
If they were going to get someone that looks like a toothpick, could they not have got Snoop Dogg?
Snoop Dogg.
No, someone that... No, but I don't know, I don't understand. And this has happened just, like, recently over the last, like, 5 years or whatnot. Or maybe a decade. What is it with WWE bringing in celebrities and claiming that they're huge deals, and we've legitimately never heard of them? See, until I had never, ever, ever heard of Bad Bunny.
Yep.
Until he appeared in WWE.
Oh, he's the most selling Latin.
But we're told he's like one of the biggest artists in the world. Same with Travis Scott. I had never heard of this guy until he appeared in WWE. Alright, they're using Megan Thee Stallion, and I have heard of her, right? Fair dues.
Well, I'll be honest, I've heard of Travis Scott before. He's a jobber, right? But I'm not going to pretend that he's a fucking nobody.
Well, apparently
he shouldn't be anywhere near WWE, though.
Apparently he's like the best rapper today, the top guy. I've never heard him.
Well, I'd heard him. I think he's got a few songs in GTA, but I mean, I actually might not, you know. Point is, I've heard of the name Travis Scott, but I just don't rate him. He just shouldn't have been there. It's the same with it. Everything about it is fucking crap. Cody Rhodes, a little bitch, gets his fucking eardrum bursted by him and doesn't even respond to it. Cody Rhodes should have been coming out that Raw, slapping his jacket against the fucking ring mat. He's like, I want Travis Scott, The Rock, and Cena the night. Oh, but guess what? None of them are there. It's fucking crap, man. Wrestling's fucking dead. Look at the state.
Yeah, that's about 5 F-bombs in 20 seconds, man.
But name one. Look at it. It's crap. Big Joe. Triple H. Does it feel like Mania season yet? Look at the stadium. Oh, you've got to get some bad before you get some good. I mean, pretending that, I'm doing you a favour. I'm giving you John on the last Smackdown. Well, where's he been every other week? Hunter? Paul? Where's he been?
Yeah, I mean, Triple H really thought he'd won. Triple H really thought that turned the tide. Having John Cena turn heel, Triple H really thought that was going to make everybody think that WrestleMania build-up was going from utter garbage to absolutely amazing just because Cena turned heel. It doesn't work that way.
It's like in The Sopranos, right? See when Artie lends money for Tony, then he gives it to the French guy, and then Tony tells Artie, he's like, here, when he starts ducking you, and then he starts giving you the money, it's like he's doing you a favour, but the reality is, he owes you the money, he's not doing you any favour. That's what Triple H is doing to us. He stops giving you these guys, right? Week in, week out. Then you get like Jey Uso against Drew McIntyre on an episode of Raw. Their first match in like a month. And he's like, but look, this is a main event match I'm giving you. When the reality is, see a couple of years ago, you were getting those level of matches every week. See the guys that were considered the main eventers, like Roman Reigns a couple of years ago? He was working there enough every week. He was.
Yeah, I feel like that happened. Like, for me, it's apparent that over the past month, 6 weeks, or whatnot, the Raw main events on Netflix have declined massively.
Yep.
But when Raw first moved to Netflix, you were getting matches in the main event that, to be fair, right, they did feel pretty big, but that's only because for the past couple of years, WWE have starved us of any sort of quality match on Raw or SmackDown. So see when they were giving you Punk versus Seth Rollins, yeah, that does feel big, but in reality, that's a match that you should be getting all the time anyway. You know, it's like Triple H just gave us nothing. and then he gives you a little bit back and expects you to bow down and kiss his ass. It doesn't work that way.
No, yeah, but that's exactly what it is with Triple H. See, back in the day, right? They did a masterful job of giving you like great matches on TV, but then when it came to the pay-per-views and the big four, they still made them feel big. Despite giving you the big matches, now their way of like we've talked about 100 times, right? We're like, oh, why can't we get Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton, or Roman Reigns against CM Punk? But the reality is you and me have pointed out, Triple H is warped and thinks we need to wait to fucking SummerSlam or WrestleMania. Back in the day, McMahon would have been like, no, I'll just get it on SmackDown. If we were talking about it on Raw, he'd have given it on SmackDown. Or at the worst, the next pay-per-view.
Or you'd have had people talk about it and he's like, right, well, tonight you're going to get this. See now, even when it comes to jobber matches, see when there's like an interaction backstage, it's always next week.
Yep. Oh.
Like, why not tonight? It's like everything has to be pushed further and further back. There's never like any spontaneous booking. It's always like if Adam Pearce bumps into somebody and like, oh no, we want a shot or whatever. He's like, well, next week you can resolve your differences in the ring. How about tonight? Nothing feels organic. It just feels like everything gets pushed back and, oh, you want this? You're going to have to wait next week. You're going to have to wait next week. Everything is so boring and drawn out. But back to the whole, want a couple of decent main events for the first time in a few. It'd be like having a kitten. You've got a new kitten and you're getting a pouch of food every day and the kitten's jumping about going, this food's great. I'm into this, I'm buzzing. Starts wagging its tail, meow, all that stuff. And then you don't feed it for 2 weeks. And then on the second week, it's starving and you give it like one wee chunk of meat out of a packet. And it's going to be celebrating like it's like the best feast that it's ever had. But that's just because it's been starved, you know what I mean? That's because you've went 2 weeks without feeding it. And that seems to be like the WWE like way of booking now. It's like they give you less than they ever gave you before, but because you're kind of used to getting nothing, and you're used to getting like starved of good wrestling, it's like now they just expect to give you one little thing every once in a blue moon, and for you to freak out like it's the best thing you've ever seen.
It's Stockholm Syndrome. That's what it is. So we've seen it with The Walking Dead, and it's when it started to go downhill. That's when characters, the big boys, started appearing sporadically instead of every episode. And wrestling's the exact same, man. Yo, make no mistake about it, right? If the top guys were there every week and wrestling every week, would it suddenly go from the shittest thing we've ever seen to the great? No, of course it wouldn't. But it would be bearable. It would be much better. The reality is, see back in the day, see if you had this triple threat match, go night one main event, you would have these three competing in some capacity on the Raw before. You would have these three forced to team up against another three, or you would have like them all in singles matches or something. Something happening. But no, you get nothing. When was the last time Punk and Rollins and Reigns had a match? When was the last time Reigns had a match? When was the last time Reigns had a singles match?
Souls of Goa.
Yeah, there you go. January.
And that's just because it was a Netflix premiere.
Yeah.
That's the only reason they done that.
It's like even recently, it's like the closer we get to Mania, the more that these like CM Punk matches have dried up. I think it's been a month since Reigns returned at the Garden. Like, what's the excuse?
Yeah, I mean, what is the excuse? Like you said,
why can't we get? No, but see on this Raw, right? Why can't we get CM Punk against Penta, right? And Paul Heyman's in his corner, and Roman Reigns comes out and fucking costs Punk the win because Heyman's out there, and you can give wee Penta a wee win over Punk count out victory or something. Who knows? A match though with actual involvement. All these guys feuding with each other. There's no like involvement in their matches. Have you not noticed this? It's just the same old shitey promos. They come out, Punk coming out 1 mile and up. Everything's so slow, predictable, and it's you're right, nothing spontaneous.
You could have had all three guys in singles action. You could have had a 6-man tag with the three of them teaming up, or you could have had like some sort of
both
free against the roster. Maybe you could have had CM Punk and Roman Reigns in a tag team against like Alpha Academy or whatnot, or American Made, with Paul Heyman as their manager, maybe Seth Rollins as a special guest referee. They could have done stuff just to have them involved in matchups together and push on the rivalry, but instead all we get is boring ass segments, and now we can finally get on to John Cena. What do you think's going to happen when he does appear on Smackdown? So far, WWE are just labeling it as John Cena set to appear, which is pretty much what we get every week. It's just the same old garb. Gunther, set to appear. Seth Rollins, set to appear. Cody Rhodes, set to... Like, why wouldn't they appear?
It should be a given. See the fact it's in Vegas, he should be there. He should be there by default. You know, I mean, Mania's the next night. I know he won't be wrestling on night one, but I'd like to think he'd still be there. I mean, and also the Hall of Fame's that night, so we're expecting him to be there regardless. But
and I bet you that's the only reason. That is the only reason, because he won't be on Raw. Oh no, he needs to get a few more dates filmed in Prague or whatever.
Morocco. Whatever it is. But what will he do? Well, Cody's promo on SmackDown there was he had a bunch of belts for yesteryear when wrestling was good, and he just relied on previous guys that were over to keep himself relevant. I mean,
that's all he's got, isn't it?
It showed you during the break, down, all the guys carrying the belts in. For like a 4-minute Cody Rhodes promo, he points at this belt. Hey, Bruno Sammartino, that guy. Then he points to like the Winged Eagle. He's like, Undertaker wrestled with broken ribs to win that belt. Then he pointed to the spinner belt. Oh, Big John. Then he pointed, oh, Eddie Guerrero, the Undisputed. Just every single guy better than Cody Rhodes. I mean, I don't really care for Bruno Sammartino, if I'm being honest, but see the ones that are like, you know, like 1985 to like 2013, fucking they smoke Cody Rhodes every day of the week. Every day. And also just having to rely on the fact that Eddie Guerrero is dead, and they know if they mention him, they'll get a cheap pop. That's what it is. The company's bogging.
It's bogging, so not much predictions then for Cena next week on SmackDown?
No, I mean, will Cena address that here? I heard you mention my name last week with everyone else. No, he probably... It's been monotone, John. Come, you people make me sick. He's speaking like an absolute fud.
WWE makes me sick. Anyway, let's move on to Alexa Bliss. Is she sick? No, they've just got nothing for her. She will not be on Raw. She will not be on SmackDown. She will not be at WrestleMania 41. I mean, how can WrestleMania now be watered down? How can WrestleMania be expanded to 2 nights and Alexa Bliss can't find herself on either night 1 or night 2? Doesn't make any sense to me. But the Wyatt 6 are also... when was the last time we've seen the Wyatt 6? Have we even seen them since they moved to SmackDown? Which was months ago, by the way.
We haven't seen them this year.
So we haven't seen the Wyatt 6 in God knows how long. They've now been moved to SmackDown. It looks like the direction they're going with is they want to stick Alexa Bliss in to the Wyatt 6. However, they don't know what they're doing with the Wyatt 6. Therefore, they don't know what they're doing with Alexa Bliss. And if they ain't got nothing planned for the Wyatt 6 at WrestleMania, then that means Alexa Bliss also has to miss it on WrestleMania. And I think enough is enough, right? I did enjoy Alexa Bliss in the Bray Wyatt stuff. I think some of the shit she did with Orton was really good. And I would go as far as... I'm not even saying it as a stretch. Her and Orton carried that feud with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Her and Orton, right? That was the best thing about that feud. But it resulted to that WrestleMania match where Orton squashed Bray Wyatt in about 6 minutes. And then Alexa Bliss just came out of this big Jack in the Box and then like black tar melted over her head. And that was like the end of it. That was like, I don't know, supposed to like visualize symbolic, some sort of betrayal. I don't know what they did, right? And I thought they dropped the ball. But see, at that point, you're like, alright, you know what? It kind of worked. Let's just leave. Let's just move on. Go our separate ways. Bray Wyatt was never there. Always taking personal time off or whatnot. And that always seemed to affect Alexa Bliss because they wanted to like keep them together. And then they had Alexa Bliss staying in this like darkness character. But the character only really worked and made sense if Bray Wyatt was involved. But Bray Wyatt was like showing up and then just disappearing again for months at a time. And then not being healthy enough or in the right mental mind state to work. So, and maybe that wasn't his fault. But at the end of the day, that was still bringing down Alexa Bliss, and she's like had the last few years of her career absolutely ruined. And then it looked like they were going away from that. They did that whole angle where she was like seeing a therapist, and I thought some of that stuff was good as well, because Alexa Bliss for me is hands down the best female in WWE when it comes to mic work and character work. I think she's hands down the best. So they did that stuff, and then it looked like they were trying to transition her away from that like the evil is mine character shit. And then when Bray Wyatt is supposedly to come back in the works, they start doing the whole the Bray Wyatt symbol flashed during an Alexa Bliss match, and then they were giving the code, and then like she would like hear things and shit like this. And it was holding back her career. Then Bray comes back, and then unfortunately, he goes away and he passes away. But it's like, her career has been ruined. And then you're thinking, right, sadly Bray's gone. And I guess this means that Alexa Bliss will finally go back in her own direction. Who knows? Maybe they'll go back to the goddess thing, or maybe they'll do something new. But then we get Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, who basically has never got over in WWE. Believe, nobody believes in him, so he's trying to cling on to Bray as much as he possibly can, because Bray is probably the only chance he's got of being relevant. And because he's clinging on to Bray, not only is he taking like 4 jobbers along for the ride, he's also still dragging down Alexa Bliss. And now she finds herself off the Mania because Triple H and WWE realised that the Wyatt Six is a bunch of jobbers that don't deserve to be on big cards, don't deserve to be on the grandest stage of them all. But because they want to pair Alexa Bliss back with these people that had nothing to do with Bray Wyatt, by the way, apart from the fact that Bo Dallas is his brother, that means her career's getting ruined. Should Alexa Bliss's career be ruined because Nikki Ash and Joe Gacy suck? Not for me, no. It's a disaster, man. If I was Alexa Bliss, I'd be saying, look, I want to go a separate, or just release me. I can go
If
home.
I was Alexa Bliss, I would just call it quits, look after my kid, and live happily ever after. Because see this tribute act for fucking Wade Barrett. Bray Wyatt, it's absolute crap. And you're right, you look across the board, right? Charlotte Flair in her 10th Mania match in a row. I think she was injured last year. Why is she main? Is Alexa Bliss versus Tiffany a better match?
Aye, it's fresh.
Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. Can those two pricks fuck off the world title picture? Would Io Sky against Alexa Bliss not be fresh? Aye. I'm sick of it, man. It's like you look
Alexa Bliss versus Liv Morgan. Don't think we've ever seen that.
You look at the Rumble, right?
And by the way, Liv Morgan should be the champion going into Mania. It's an absolute disgrace that Rhea Hogan took the belt off her, but I mean, that's a different fed for a different day.
I think Alexa Bliss got the loudest pop at the Rumble.
If
not one of, and that's against Cena, Hendry, Punk, etc. And this is the way they drop the ball, but this is the company that's known for dropping the ball, man. How many people, right? Yeah, the New Day have got attacked.
But why should Alexa Bliss settle for this garbage faction where she has to carry these people? Because make no mistake about it, if she does go in the faction, she'll be head and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah.
This
group's ran its course, man. Let's not pretend that Alexa Bliss can save. Nothing can save it. Honestly, not even Chris Benoit and McMahon. Dressed as the Grim Reaper could save this group. It's done. Like, how do you have this group debut and kill half the roster? Literally, by the way, literally kill half the roster, and then they just have matches. Then they disappear sporadically, and then they just disappear altogether. They lost the feud to the Final Testament, folks. There's no saving.
And 60% of the Final Testament have been released since we last seen the Wyatt Six, by the way.
Yeah, and the other one gets in between the Netflix breaks. That's as good as it gets for him.
But when was the last time we actually seen Karrion Kross appear on actual Raw, and not the advertisement part of the show?
He appears backstage, just talking to Sami Zayn. Oh, this is the Sands of Time. Oh, Sands of Time, big
The Sands of Time's running out on his career, by the way, and the Sands of Time should be running out on the Wyatt Six. Get them in the bin. Get them off my... Well, I say get them off. They're already off my
let's
TV
be
screen.
honest, right? Let's just be honest, right? See, because Triple H is such a bum chum of the IWC, he knows if he releases the Wyatt 6, it's a bad look because of Bray Wyatt's passing. See if Bray Wyatt didn't die and was in AEW. 1, right? This group would not have existed. And 2, they would have been gone months ago. The only reason they have not been released is because of Bray Wyatt is not here and he died. Correct or not? I'm convinced of that. Why else are they being kept?
I think Dexter's actually a pretty good. I think Dexter, he can work. I mean, I like the guy, but not. He's too good to just stick a pair of dreadlocks on and pretend that he's some sort of loser in a faction. Anybody could get that.
Hello, Dexter Loomis.
It's garbage, guys. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's it. Alexa Bliss missing WrestleMania. Big Match John missing every show apart from Smackdown before Mania.
It's funny though. People used to miss Mania back in the day because there was too many things that were good. Now they're missing it because they've no idea what the fuck they're doing. Like literally, that is it. Because now everyone gets on Mania.
Yeah, I feel like we could rant about a couple of the last matches that have been added to the Mania card, but maybe that's for a different video. But I mean, it sickens me to actually think of some of the matches that did not happen in previous Manias because they were considered not good enough to get on the card. And then you look at this year's card, and you're just getting these random matches added. The New Day versus the Viking Raiders.
That is bogging.
Or the War Raiders, whatever they call themselves. How is that WrestleMania worthy?
Yeah. Honestly, like that is disgusting.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the New Day, right?
No, but look at that feud going into Mania 19. You had Kane and RVD and the Dudleys in a rivalry battling to get a title shot against the tag champs Lance Storm and Val Venus, Sean Morley. And that wasn't good enough to get on the Mania card. Did RVD and Kane not beat the Dudleys on like Sunday Night Heat or something?
The pre-show, pretty much, yeah.
Well, no, because Kane and RVD versus Morley and Venus was on the Morley and Storm. That was the pre-show.
Ah, well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was the pre-show. So it just shows you.
So I don't know if it was Kane and RVD. I don't know if they beat the Dudleys on the Raw before, or whether it was Sunday Night Heat. I can't remember, but that match did not make WrestleMania, and that had Kane and Rob Van Dam in it.
Yeah.
Kane and RVD, and that wasn't good enough to make Mania. But somehow, the War Raiders and Jobber fucking Kingston and Woods is good enough to make the Mania card.
But let's speak about the New Day as well. What about them? He dropped the ball on them big time as well. Oh, I mean, their own list ranked them as like, what, the 6th best heel turn of all time. The 6th best heel turn of all time, and you do nothing with them. Pretty sure neither of them even appeared in the Rumble. Like, nothing. Absolute crap, man.
Oh, come out this week. Don't say nothing. Walk away.
No, but
they repeated that for like 2 months straight.
What was the fucking point of that turn on Big E? What's that done? What's that achieved? Just Xavier Woods coming out in Europe, each city they go to. Your women are ugly. It's fucking, I mean, they're shite.
No, he didn't say that. He said your kids are ugly.
No, he wouldn't dare say about the women. What did he say about the women? They're lazy.
Aye.
They're lazy and your kids are ugly. And the men are retarded. Something like that.
No, obviously, in 2025, he wouldn't have the nuts to say the women are ugly or make like any sort of, discouraging comments about their physical appearance because that would be considered sexist. Whereas if he says it about kids, therefore he's talking about both fucking genders there. And it's like almost like you can get away with saying that about kids. So, it's just lame. Just Xavier Woods trying to be...
It's fucking weird. Oh, the kids are ugly.
Xavier...
Alright, Xavier.
Xavier Woods trying to be cool when he's just in fact not. This guy...
Stick to playing World of Warcraft with your wee buddy,
Soraya. Or Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze.
That's the one. Anyway, guys, this video's been a breeze.
No, by the way, actually, why the fuck are those two on the cover of the GM mode on all the games? What, because they play fucking YouTube?
But no, I don't get it.
We play YouTube.
Yeah.
We know on it.
But who's buying the game because those two play the game on a YouTube channel? Like,
no one.
Nobody cares, right? See, I know YouTube wasn't around, right? But let's say, would there been any sort of video hosting site in the late 90s on the internet? let's say there was, right, for argument's sake, right, let's say that YouTube was started in 96. See, when they first started bringing out, Warzone, see, instead of having Austin on the cover, let's say, for example, name me a jobber. Even if
Tiger Ali Singh.
Let's say Tiger Ali Singh played the PlayStation.
I play the PlayStation.
And he was a big wrestling game PlayStation player. Would they have stuck Ali Singh on WWF Warzone? Oh, here's SmackDown. SmackDown 2 or SmackDown Just Bring It. See, instead of sticking The Rock on the cover, would they have stuck Tiger Ali Singh on with him holding the game because he plays it on YouTube? Absolutely not. The people that should be on the covers and the people that should be on the loading screens are the stars, right? Are the people that matter. But you look now, seeing the WWE games.
Everybody.
Have you noticed, like, there's so many different menus that they've almost got room for everybody on each menu?
Yep.
And it's like, see, back in the day, that would never happen. That would never happen. Fucking back in the day, man, you had the fucking divas, computer image graphic of them, fucking dancing and shit like that. Or the loading screens, you had fucking Tori Wilson in bikinis. And you had like wee facts, did you know, and all this stuff. Or it was like, you know, showing the loading screens with like their signature move and their height and their hometown and their weight. Stuff like that was pretty cool. See, what do you get now? You get garbage. Anyway, that's it, guys. It's been long enough. Till next time. No Bliss. We get some John Cena. No Wyatt 6. No quality either. No talent.
Swiss Bliss.